Hi, happy holidays. I'm Cathy Neptune and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to give you tips, tools, and recipes to make your time in the kitchen this holiday season and all year long fun, fast, and fabulous. And I know how busy the holiday seasons are for everybody, so I thought we could tackle a good breakfast that some of these recipes you can even make ahead of time and have them on hand and just put them in the oven at the same temperature for a brief amount of time and you're all good to go. So we're going to do something I don't think most people have had or maybe not even heard of, and those are Scotch eggs. And we're going to do those and potato poppers in a mini muffin pan, and then a lovely light and refreshing fruit salad. And we're all going to serve all of these up in a festive manner. So let's get started with our potato poppers. And in a dish here, you want to prep a mini muffin pan. Now, I'm having the recipe, but at the end of this video, as always, I give you the recipes. I'm going to give you the full version of this too, but feel free. It's very easy to cut in half and make it user-friendly for just even two people and have a few extras on hand. And in this bowl, I have some shredded potatoes, or you can use 30 or 32-ounce bags of frozen hash browns. But I had potatoes on hand, so I grated, probably this is 2 cups of any kind of potato, and I shredded it. And it's very important if you're using fresh potatoes that you soak them in some water several times to get all the starch out of them, and then squeeze them dry in a clean linen towel or paper towels to get all the moisture. You can see how dry these are. And then to this, we're going to season these. And I have some really fun seasonings that you probably have on hand. And again, I'm going to put the measurements down in the bottom, but this is probably half a teaspoon of garlic powder, more or less. Potatoes need a lot of help, even if whether they're frozen or fresh. You need a lot of seasoning. And then this is onion powder, same amount, half a teaspoon of onion powder for flavor. And then this you want to be real careful, and this is optional, but this is cayenne pepper. And let me tell you, it doesn't take a lot to turn the heat on with this. So we're going to put just a dash, not even a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And then a good teaspoon of salt, because again, we want these to have flavor. And some freshly ground black pepper, about a half a teaspoon of pepper. And these are all flavors to taste. You can add other seasonings to this too if you'd like. And then for a little moisture, we're going to add in about a good tablespoon of a good quality olive oil. And then to add the starch back in to keep everything together, about a good heaping teaspoon of flour. And potatoes have a lot more moisture in them, even though you squeeze them out a little. So that will incorporate everything in with the potatoes and form like a glue to keep everything together. So you want to thoroughly mix this. And you can even do these ahead of time if you want, but there's not much to put them together at the last minute. And you just want to make sure those seasonings are well distributed. And then a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And you could use Swiss cheese. Cheddar cheese might be okay, but I would blend it with either Swiss cheese or Parmesan because cheddar is a little softer than most cheeses are. So we're going to blend that, make sure everything's in there. And it's a fairly dry consistency. But what we've done with this tray, I want to explain, it's very, very important. I sprayed it with a nonstick spray, and then I melted about 2 tablespoons of butter and liberally brushed it in here, because this is what's going to make your potatoes crisp up on the outside and release from the pan. Don't forget, when you have the cheese, it's going to melt and tends to stick. So it may look like a lot, even though we have olive oil in here. You can't beat the flavor you're going to get from the butter that's on the bottom of these little muffins. And I like, just for the sake of convenience, just take a little scoop and scoop them out. And then I press them down afterwards with a little spoon. Try and get most of them on there in the muffin pan. And this should make about a dozen. So you can see, if you double the recipe and use a whole bag of shredded potatoes that are frozen, you're probably going to do pretty good. And if you have extras, you can make little patties and bake them in the oven, shaped like little patties. And we're going to serve this with a topping of just plain old sour cream and chives, which will be delicious. And these will probably cook in about 30 minutes. Check them after 25 minutes, depending on your oven. But these would certainly wait for you if you had to make them ahead while you're opening gifts or visiting with family. They're very user-friendly. Then I just go back and fill them to the top. And that does about the whole thing. You could do grated onions in here or garlic, but I like the garlic onion and the garlic powder and the onion powder. Garlic would tend to scorch because we've preheated our oven at 400 degrees, and that's pretty hot, and you don't want to burn your garlic. So that is all that we have, and you can neaten it up. We can neaten it up a little bit. But those crispy edges are really nice. And pat them down just a little, not too much, because you want the potatoes to cook inside. And if you pat them down too much, they get a little bit hard to cook throughout. So I'm just neatening them up so they come out easier. And there we go. That looks pretty good. And these are potato poppers. And you could put red peppers in here if you want, or even jalapeno peppers, and make them real poppers. So those are our potatoes, and they're going in the oven. I'm going to check them after 25 minutes at 400 degrees. But all of this, like I said, you could do this ahead of time. Cover them with plastic wrap and season them, and check and make sure there's no extra water that's accumulated if you do them at night ahead of time. And then just put them in here and bake them the morning of Christmas morning or your holiday morning. So we're going to put this in, and when we come back, we're going to do those Scotch eggs. You're going to love it. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We have our potato poppers in the oven, and now we're going to work on our Scotch eggs, and I have no idea where they got the name Scotch eggs. But you want to start out with sausage, seasoned sausage. This is a turkey breakfast sausage. And you want to use about a pound. We'll make probably 6 Scotch eggs. And you want to use about half a cup each. And spread it out on a plastic wrap. This is the easiest way. And just press it. And we have some hard-boiled, not hard-boiled, I'm not going to say hard-boiled, kind of a soft-boiled egg. And you can use a pork sausage. You can even use an Italian sausage if you like. If they're in a log, link, just take the skin off of it and just use the meat and open up the sausage. And then we have a soft-boiled egg that we've probably cooked. What you want to do is boil your water first, and then drop your eggs and set the timer for about 4 minutes. You want a soft-boiled egg, and the reason you want a soft-boiled egg is because we are going to bake these in the oven to put a crust on them. So you want to roll that inside. Oops, that egg burst. That happens sometime. Okay. So we want to seal that up really well. And then roll them in some flour. I have some flour here. And this is going to put a crust on it. And then in an egg wash. And then in some breadcrumbs. Now this is half and half, a mixture of breadcrumbs and panko, because I like the crunch of the panko breadcrumbs. Put that on a tray, and we're going to spray that with a little oil before we bake it. So I'm going to take the rest of the sausage, and I did 2 others. We had a total of 6 eggs that I did, and I made them ahead of time. So this recipe will do 6 Scotch eggs. And I like the turkey sausage. I find it's a little bit milder than some of the other sausages. So we're gonna. So remember to soft boil eggs, probably 4, maybe 5 minutes is a little better, so they're a little more firm. And fold them over. And this part you could certainly do ahead of time and leave them in your refrigerator, and then just pop them in the oven along with your potato poppers. And they don't have to be perfect. And by the way, I used medium eggs. I thought these were a better size. This one here was a large egg, and I thought it was a little too big, but it should be 1 serving per egg. If you do the medium-sized eggs, they might be a little better. So rolling it in the flour. And these only take about the same amount of time, about 30 minutes, because you want to make sure they're cooked all the way through. So we have our flour mixture and rolling that in the egg and then in the breadcrumbs. Now you want to serve this. I'll show you what the dipping sauce that I made with these. And you want to serve a little salt. You cut them in half, and you want to salt them because eggs need a lot of salt. So we're going to do that. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. And we're going to spritz them with a little bit of oil. This is olive oil. And you can use the one in the can too, but I love these spritzers. And then we're going to turn this over and do the other side, mostly on all the sides so they get nice and crispy. And again, my oven is 400 degrees. And spread them out, make sure they're spaced so they'll brown nicely. And if you don't have a baking stone like this, you're probably going to want to turn these over about halfway through. So set your timer for about 15 minutes. Get over here just a little bit lightly and pop these in the oven. And when we come back, I'll show you the dipping sauce, and I'm going to check on my potatoes, and we're going to do a nice little fruit salad that'll be light and refreshing. So we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I'm peeling an apple. I'm doing a fruit salad, a very light fruit salad. And I have in here, if you want to check this out, I have some kiwi that I've peeled and sliced. I have some nice oranges. And I saved the zest from the orange. Whenever you use zest citrus, you want to, whenever you cut it up, zest first and then cut them up. So I zested some orange in the bowl here. We're doing a dressing. And some red grapes. And I thought an apple would be good in here. Now, you can do any fruit combination that you'd like. You don't have to peel the apples if you didn't want, but whatever you'd like. You can even do bananas. You can make it tropical with some pineapples, whatever's seasonal. I'm going to have to shave some of this. I must have dropped it somewhere. And then we're going to slice this in here and serve it with a dressing. You know what would be good in here too for color would be, I always think about color in the presentation, but dried cranberries would be very nice. I'm going to cut them all about the same size so that it looks nice in presentation. And just one apple of your choice. I didn't have a Granny Smith, but I do prefer Granny Smith because I don't know if you know, but green Granny Smith don't turn as brown as quickly as some of the others. I'm going to check on our potatoes and see how those are. And our Scotch eggs. Oh, those look nice. Look at these. Nice and toasty. And I'm just going to set those there for a minute. And our Scotch eggs, nice and brown. And these were about 25 minutes. The Scotch eggs, we're going to do 30. So I'm going to put the timer on for another 15 minutes at 400 degrees. And then we're going to finish our little apples. Put those in. Pears would be nice. Trying to think of some others. Just do whatever you think your family would like. Strawberries are good, but I like to save those for the summer months. To me, strawberries are a summer veggie. I mean, summer fruit for me, as well as watermelon. And I wouldn't do the apples ahead of time, but you certainly could do the rest of the fruit ahead of time. Put those in there. So I have in here zest of probably half a lemon. And then I'm going to do the rest, the zest of some of the limes, because there's so much flavor in the zest, no matter when you're using tropical fruits or citrus fruits. I even use, you could put grapefruit in here and use the grapefruit zest. That's a very nice flavor to add. So probably half of a lime, the zest of half of a lime, and then half of the orange. And then I put the lime in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and you get a ton of juice. So I'm just putting half of this lime in here. And these are for holiday margaritas. And I'll put that there. And then, you know me, I love to experiment with different oils. This is a lemon flavored extra virgin olive oil. And I thought, oh, that sounds good. So we're just going to blend that in with the zest. Probably a tablespoon. And you can use any flavored or just maybe an apple. If you didn't have the lime, you could substitute apple cider vinegar and just do plain olive oil or a vegetable oil that doesn't have much flavor to it. And then equal amounts olive oil or any kind of flavored oil and honey, about a tablespoon of honey to counterbalance the acidity. That's about a tablespoon. You know what I found in my travels the other day? I found a cinnamon honey. And I'll tell you, drizzle that on pears and brie cheese. It's yummy. And then I'm going to set this aside because some of your guests may not be able to have sweeteners or so forth on a restricted diet. So I'm going to serve one up plain, or you could just serve this on the side, depending on your guests. But this will make enough for, I'd say, 2 to 4 people, depending on your serving size. So isn't it pretty? And then I'm going to take your prettiest serving dishes. I'm going to put that plain. Get a good variety in there. Cherries would be good. Dried cherries. And then I'm going to drizzle this honey. The honey and olive oil mixture. And it's just a light coating, but that zest and the lime juice is going to make it so fresh. And we're going to serve that in here. And if you have some pretty mint leaves from your garden, if you bring in your plants from outside, I always try and bring in some of my herbs from my garden and keep them inside for the winter all season long, and I have fresh herbs. And I have a quick tip to share with you. Actually, I have 2 of them. if you find that you use a lot of chives and you buy a bundle of chives and you don't use them all, did you know that you can buy a bundle of chives at the store, and when you cut off the stem end about 2 inches like this with the roots attached, you save those and put them in potting soil in your house by a sunny window, and you'll have fresh chives all year long, just enough from one bundle, and it keeps regrowing and regrowing, and it only takes about 5 days to a week, and you're going to see the sprouts. They sprout very quickly. And what a great thing to have in your repertoire all season long. There's something so comforting about being able to sniff some fresh chives that you have growing live in your home. So do that. It saves money, it saves time, and it saves you a trip to the store. And who doesn't love fresh chives? Another quick tip that I learned, I mentioned we sprayed our little pan with some nonstick spray in our mini muffin pan. Well, let me tell you, that stuff gets all over. You don't want to spray any, miss the pan and get it on the floor because it's very dangerous and slippery. You spray it in your sink, and then it's hard to get off the sink. It leaves a residue. Next time you spray a pan or a dish with a nonstick spray, open your dishwasher door and put the pan or dish on your dishwasher door. Inside, spray it, and then when you do your dishes, the dishwasher will clean off the residue inside your dishwasher. So those are my 2 great tips for today. We're going to serve everything up. We'll be right back. Look at our breakfast feast. Simple, easy, light, make ahead. I'm going to garnish. These are our little potato poppers. How cute are these? They came out of the pan. I can't stress enough that you really want to spray your container very well, very thoroughly, and then brush it with a lot of melted butter. And this is just sour cream. You could use yogurt, but it's not as much fun. You can do healthy, but save that for your New Year's resolution because these are good. You could put cooked sausage in the potato poppers if you'd like, or a little bit of bacon. But since we did the Scotch eggs with the sausage, I thought we'd just do that. A little bit of green chives for color. It'll be pretty on here too. Some little diced red pepperdews or peppers, red and green for Christmas. That would be nice. And those are our little potato poppers. How cool is that? Now these are our Scotch eggs, and in this bowl, I have a little dipping sauce, and it is half and half ketchup and shrimp cocktail sauce. It gives a little kick and a little bite to it. And I wanted to cut open one of these Scotch eggs and see how crispy they are. Cut it open, and inside they're very crispy and very hot. These are our Scotch eggs. And remember, I said to put a little bit of salt on the top, and I love this Himalayan sea salt, or you could do a flaked sea salt if you'd like, because the eggs need salt. So we're going to do that, and you serve those in our beautiful winter salad, a fruit salad with a lime and honey vinaigrette on the top. Light, easy, make ahead except for the apples, and put whatever fruit you think you'd like inside, and enjoy it and make it simple and easy. I think your family they're going to love this. These here are great. You could cut these into quarters and serve them as appetizers like you would a deviled egg. You can even put a little green chives on the top. You could do a horseradish cream instead if you'd like. You could even mix a blue cheese with this and make it a blue cheese sausage Scotch egg and do a blue cheese take on it. So you're not limited. Italian sausage would be great. Any kind of flavored spice sausage would be delicious, even a Mexican flavored sausage. So put your own spin on it, make it yours. These are just ideas for you to jump from and use and make it your own for you and your family. These are great breakfast or any time. This would be a nice evening meal as well. So thank you all to everybody who writes in with your questions and your comments. Have a wonderful and safe holiday season. Thank you for watching. And may the fork be with you.